welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you my MELFFY deck profile. If this is your first time at the channel, please remember to hit that subscribe button. It gives me the motivation to make more deck profiles like these. So we'll dive right into the deck profile. Before we actually get into it, I want to give you my full disclaimer on this archetype. So in its current form, with the support that we've got from Rise of the Duelist and also like the MELFFY Rabbit that came out previously in the Legendary Collection, the deck, well the archetype sorry, currently is very lackluster. It's missing a win condition, it's missing a boss monster primarily, you know, because MELFFY of the Forest can't be the boss monster for the deck. So I've had to bring in some other engines, and now the deck, I've been playing it for about 2 weeks now and I really do enjoy it. It can OTK, it can control the board and just annoy your opponent. It is not by any way, shape or form meta defining. It's just a fun rogue deck and it can really compete with a couple of good decks, and you'll see in the replays that I'll have at the end of the video for you, just to give you some combo tutorials, some ideas of how I play the deck and how the deck actually functions in actual matches. So let's dive right into it. So I play 3 MELFFY Catty and 2 Puppy and 1 Fanny. So the reason why I play these ratios is I feel like Catty is the best for the deck because it does search out any beast monster from the deck to the hand. So that can come up in a couple of the monsters that I'm going to show you and stuff. Puppy for me is probably the second best because it special summons one directly from the deck. So it just depends on what the situation is, what you're playing against, and if one of the cards that you bring out is more viable. For me, I tend to always bring out, go for Catty, Puppy to go into Catty to add something to then use to interrupt my opponent, or else you can just use Puppy to bring out Fanny, then Fanny's effect to bring out, if you have Catty and Puppy, bring out, use Fanny's effect, bounce that back, and then special summon one of your bigger monsters from your hand. So I think this ratio is perfect. I don't play Pony because we don't really revolve around the grave, and plus we do play a card that lets us shuffle things back into the deck to get a draw. So actually having MELFFYs in the graveyard isn't really viable. So I think this is just the perfect ratio currently. Then we play our main starter monster, mixed rarity rescue cats. I think that's the best way to play it, especially the common, because that seems to come up a lot more than the holos. So rescue cat, basically, if you don't know what it does, is you can send this card to the graveyard, then special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast monsters from your deck to the field. So you can either bring out 2 MELFFY monsters, or you can bring out 2 other cards to help you synchro or combo off, just depending on what you're going to be playing against. Then we play 2 Hot Air Squadron. So this card is basically the main tuner of the deck. It's one that you search off a Catty, depending on what you actually have on board left over. So this card I think does come up. I play it too because it is searchable, but if you open it up, then it's never really bad to actually have this card, and it's an interruption that your opponent's not really expecting, depending on if you go into Naturia Beast or Herald Arclight. So it can get you a floodgate in different aspects, so definitely have to play Squadron. Then for the Beast Forest engine, we play 2 Valley Fawn, and I can never get this card's name right, is Calistone. So you can let me know how to pronounce it in the comment section. So I really like this card because it's an interruption. So if you have Puppy, you can use Puppy's effect to bounce back to actually bring him out to pop 1 card. So it can actually come up a lot, and there's other cards that can special summon it and things like that. Like you can use, you can search it and use Fanny to bring it out from the hand and stuff, and also Valley Fawn can special summon it. We also play the 1 Fabled Cerberus because we also play 2 danger monsters. So we played Jackalope and we played Bigfoot, just because we can search them out with Catty, and if we end up with Catty and with Fenny on the board, we can use Catty to bring out Danger Bigfoot, and then bring out Fenny to bring out the Bigfoot as the big beater monster. So I just like having him in the deck just as a big main deck beater, and plus you can trigger them with Valley Fawn. You can use Jackalope excuse me, to bring him out and stuff as well. So I think this is a good little engine to actually have, and it catches a lot of people off guard because you can't get interruptions with the special summon, pop, another pop, a search, and just a free body. So now, one of the weird techs that I have in the deck is Gallus the Star Beast. He is just a level 3 beast monster. We don't actually run many level 3s, and he is one that can just special summon himself, depending on if you mill a monster. So I do really like him because he's absolutely free. So it doesn't really matter if you get him off or not. You do lose a little bit of hand advantage, but the way that we play the deck, we can regain advantage. So we just play him, and also he's searchable off of the rescue cat. So that means that you can get him and Valley Fawn. If you've got another card in the graveyard, you can discard one card and then target a level 2 beast and special summon another one out, be it the little hedgehog one that lets you pop a card as well. So 2 Gallus. Then I play the Kaiju package. So I'll just get these out as well. So we play 2 interrupted Kaiju slumbers. We play 1 Jazakiro, 1 Dogoran, and 1 Gameciel. So with boards that people can make, like be it the Adamantipator decks that have so many negations and stuff, I feel like Kaiju is extremely good, especially when Dragoon's coming out, you know. And we just watched the promo reveal, the voiced by Dan Green, which I thought was really good. A couple of the cards are a little bit subpar. Dragoon is probably the best one, and I like the Dark Magician Trap card as well, but don't really know if they'll be ran at high capacity. But back onto this can clear entire boards. You give your opponent Jazakiro, you give yourself Jazakiro, sorry, you bring out Gameciel, and then you've just got this big beater. And with the way that we can play the deck, we can get out number 64, and when his token comes out, we just copy Jazakiro on the field. So once we pop him, we do have 7,600 points of damage on the board. So one more monster that we get out is basically game, if we can clear the board. So interrupted Kaiju slumber can come up quite often. So I only run it at 2 because I feel like 3 is just too cloggy, and we only play the 3 Kaijus as well, because when we use interrupted Kaiju slumber to bring out, say, these 2, and we can banish it the next turn to add this to our hand, just to deck thin a little bit more. And it's just another way, if they start to build a board up, we can get rid of their main interruption and stuff, things that can't be targeted and that. So that is the Kaiju engine. Now we move on to the spells. I play 1 Hide and Seek and 2 MELFFY Tag. So MELFFY Tag, personally I think you can cut this down to 1 because it is searchable off a forest, but I'm playing it at 2 just so that way that we can open it. Because we do want to sometimes reoccur our MELFFY monsters that are in the graveyard, be it if we link them off and stuff like that. So it can come up in one of the combos that I will tell you. Hide and Seek, I like it because we can recycle. It doesn't state it has to be MELFFY monsters, so we just shuffle back 3 beasts. So because we only play the 1 Jackalope, the 1 Bigfoot, the 1 Cerberus, and stuff like that, we can recycle them all and get an added draw in the bargain. So it can come up, and it's free fodder, and we don't really rely primarily around the grave. So it it is just good to recycle and just rebuild the deck up. And then probably the most busted card in the deck is Obedience School. The only downside to the Obedience School is the fact that it locks you in the beasts, but for a card to just give you three monsters is absolutely superb. It's basically a card that summons out 3, and it's kind of like Block Dragon in that sense that you get 3 cards for the price of 1. The only bad thing is it doesn't reoccur, it's like Block Dragon. So I think this card has to be played at 3. It is the best starter card. It's between this and Rescue Cat, so if you open up one of them, then you've got basically full combo. Then for the draw power, we play Pot of Desires. I would always advise you to play Pot of Desires at the very last. Once you know you've cycled through your one-offs and things like that, like when you're doing your combo, to activate this at the very end, or if you have seriously bricked, like I'm talking about, you've opened up your Kaiju 2 Kaiju Slumbers, and you've opened up your 3 Kaijus as well. Like this is just a win more card or a get you back into the game card. So it's always the last thing, never the first thing that you do, unless you're trying to bait out something like an Ash or something. For the one-offs, we play 1 Scapegoat and 1 Monster Reborn. So in my decks, I like to have something that I can reoccur. If my opponent manages to break my entire board, I want something that I can use to get me straight back into the game. Monster Reborn is always good because if you Kaiju your opponent with something, you can just special summon the thing that you've Kaiju'd. If it's got negation, it's brilliant, things like that. And also in that OTK scenario that I was telling you about with the Jizakira, the token and stuff like that, this is your free extra monster to help you get that OTK covered. Scapegoats, you can just basically go into any rank 4. You can go into Link Rebo, Masquerena, Unicorn, Phoenix, just to get extra pops and stuff like that. So I really do advise playing the Scapegoat because it's beasts as well. So it's a really good card. We play 3 Called by the Grave because we definitely want our Obedience School, Rescue Cat, and our Kaiju Slumber to go off. So I definitely have to play 3 Called by the Graves. And then finally, the last 2 cards I play is 2 Paleozoic Dynamiscus, just because we can get double pops with if we have Bigfoot in hand, and also we get a free monster if we have Cerberus and stuff. So I like Dynamiscus because it's also a level 2, and we play one of the Paleozoic in the extra deck. So it's just a free banish, a banish on your opponent's monsters as well. So it beats around cards that said that it can't be destroyed. So and also it gets us around Mystic Mine with a field barrier for if you're coming up against those Mystic Mine players. I do really prefer this to the Cosmic Cyclone because I feel like you get more advantage just because you do get a level 2 and it helps you get any synchros and stuff. Now we'll move on to the extra deck. I play 2 MELFFY Forest. So MELFFY Forest, if you don't know what it does, it is basically a rotor for the deck. It can search out any card that specifically says MELFFY in it. So you can bring out Hide and Seek, you can bring out a MELFFY Tag, any of the monsters and stuff, and when a MELFFY monster is bounced from the field to the hand using its effect, you can target 1 card on the field and negate its effect. So it's an effect veiler, it's an effect veiler and it's a rotor in the one. It is decent, it is probably the best MELFFY monster card in the entire archetype company. Then we play 1 Sky Cavalier. So he's just basically non-destruction removal. So yeah, he's decent. We play the 1 Ocarina just because it lets us search out a Paleozoic trap And yeah, I had the Paleozoic trap. So basically, if we are needing a way to banish a card, then it lets us get the Dynamiscus from the deck to the hand. So then we play probably the best XYZ monster in the deck, and number 64, Ronin Raccoon. So when I was sitting playing, I'll be honest with you, I had this out of the deck. I didn't actually have it because I thought I wanted a more control build and things, because I had torrential tributes, as you will see in the replay videos, because I was doing a lot of testing. So I put in a few of the testing videos as well, because I was playing torrential tribute and trap tricks and things like that, just to give me more board control dominance in the actual matches if I was going first. So basically, when I was playing against a couple of matches, I'd just get to a point and I'm like, I could OTK there if I had Ronin. So I had to put him in. So he is at 2, because there is some situations that you will actually end up with 2 Ronins and 2 tokens and potentially a Kaiju and stuff like that as well. So definitely a must-have staple in this deck, 100%. Then for the synchros, we play the one Herald Arclight and the one Naturia Beast. So these are basically our floodgates, extra deck floodgates, sorry, in the deck that we can get with the Hop Squadron. So these are really good interruptions. Basically, your opponent says, you say your opponent can't use spells, can't discard things, they'll be banished, and it's an Omni Negate for spell trap or monster effect. And then for the synchros, the link, sorry, we play the one Bujinki Ashima. So this for me is the best link monster in the deck, because it's 2 monsters with the same level, and then you can target, when it's link summoned, target 1 in the graveyard and 1 in your hand with the same level, special summon them. So be it your MELFFYs. So say, for talking sake, so we use Interrupt to Kaiju Slumber, we give our opponents Gamma Sail, we get the Jizukiru, then we can use Rescue Cat's effect, bring out these, sorry, picked up the wrong card, bring out these, use his effect because he was special summoned from a beast, pop the Gamma Sail, then link these 2 into Bujinki, then Bujinki will bring out the Fenny, the puppy, these, gets us a token, copies this. So we have on board 6/6, 7/6, 8, 10, 9,100 on board. Sorry, definitely not quick maths. So this is the OTK board that I was telling you about. So definitely have to play him, and Bujinki as well. When a monster, an XYZ monster is points to, activates his effect by detaching, you get to pop a spell or trap as well, so it gets rid of some back row that's unknowns. That was basically a long-winded way of showing you how good this card actually is in the deck. I play the one cross sheet because you can get into the synchros and the XYZs in the same turn, and also when you have Scapegoat, you can go into your Link Karibo that we play, just show you the Link Karibo, then use one of the tokens and this to go into the cross sheet, and then you can start doing other plays to be able to bring out synchros to decrease monsters' attacks and increase your own ones, just to be able to get them more resources, their resources down. Then we play one Phoenix, one Nightmare Unicorn, one IP Masquerena, and one Appaloosa, the Foe Goddess. So basically all Appaloosa is here for is just for the Scapegoat play. It just gives us added interruption. You'll be able to work your way through with Phoenix, Unicorn, IP and stuff like that to be able to clear off problematic boards. and sometimes you just end with an IP Masquerena. If you are playing against this deck or playing someone that is playing this deck, just watch out if they use the Jinky and then the other two monsters, instead of going into Ronin, for whatever reason, go into IP Masquerena. This card cannot be used as link material, so you can't use IP and this to go into Appaloosa. So I just thought I'd actually say that to you just in case it comes up at any point, but hopefully you do just read your opponent's cards. So that is the deck profile on MELFFY's. So I do hope you did enjoy it. I have been testing this deck quite a bit, so I hope you did enjoy. Please, as I said at the start, if this is your first time here and you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one, everyone. Cheers, peace.